Welcome to High Above Courtside. My name is Jason. That's Steven, and that's Anthony. Guys, what's going on?
Doing
How we
good.
doing, fellas?
How jacked up do you guys get when you hear that
Big
intro?
weekend.
It's good. It's good. It's a good intro.
Gets me every time.
All right, so we're going to start with the Wizards game. Celtics win 108-96 to a cup record of 2-1. So basically, guys, what stood out to you guys about the game in terms of the overall play of the Boston Celtics?
How did we end up winning that game by 12?
I don't know.
Like, did the Wizards not understand the point differential there at the end? They just kept following us. Like, thank you for the 3 points. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think they actually had no idea what was going on at the end. I think even Mazzulla said he was like, I don't think they understood what the rule there was. But I mean, For me, that was the clearest game I've watched in years. I mean, we haven't won a title since '08, so like that was a clear White House hangover game. I mean, Jesus Christ, like it was lethargic it was hard to watch for 3 quarters. It really was.
Apple cider hangover, I guess, over there. they spike it at the White House. I feel like up until like last night's game, we'll get into that. We've just kind of been mathing our way to victories, like just finding the margins and figuring out what can we do minimally to squeak out this win. And for that game, it was really the free throw attempts. We were plus 16 attempts on them, and we made 14 more than the Wizards. So like, there's the game right there because we shot terrible from 3. And we'll get into it a little bit later, but JT that's his first real stinker of the game. He salvaged it by his counting stats with 16, 9, 8, and 2. He was at plus 20, but that was gross. 0 from 10 from 3. Ugh.
That was one of those games where it's like, I'm like, you can take a day off, dude. Like, I know you want to play in all these cities for the kids and whatever, but like you were clearly hungover. Like, just sit down. It's okay. It's all right. We can let Peyton and Sam, get 23s up. It's fine.
But we get a little feather in the cap, though, because this is a win for the Celtics. Can't win if they don't hit their threes crowd.
Yeah. It was the Wizards.
True. Don't take anything away from us, Tony, all right? We have a narrative to build and push, and this is what we're doing.
What did you guys see from the Wizards in terms of their fight? Like, what do you think they did that caught the Celtics off guard? Do you think it's just a Celtics just White House hangover?
It was White House hangover. It was a Friday in Washington against the worst team in the league, where it's just hard to get up for that game. I mean, and the closer a bad team like that stays with the champs, you get confidence. You start, hey, we can win this game. So it was one of those. It had that type of feel early.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was also one of the few games that, they dominated us in paints to the point there too. So I'll take that back. No, we were just hungover.
Luke was awesome. I felt like Cornette was the only guy with energy. He saved us in the middle of the game a little bit. Outside of his energy, I think we could have lost that game. I think we could have been down 15-20 in that game, to be honest. We kept it like tied or close.
Yeah, Luke was sneaky, the star, kind of, besides JB. I mean, JB had 31 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, but Luke was a plus 15, which was second highest, which was dope. Drew kept us in the game, too, with his defense. He was locking down. He had 5 stocks. For you that don't know what stocks are, it is steals and blocks for all our new listeners. And then I think they could flip the switch when they want to, and they waited to the end to do that there.
So going to Malcolm Brogdon, he started. Now I completely forgot he was on the Wizards. I don't know how he ended up there. I guess maybe Portland may have traded him to Washington, but he had some comments, I think, before the game about the trade and all that. But it's good to see that he's kind of over it, because if you really think about it, it was like Marcus Smart, Rob Williams, and him were like the 3 sacrifices for us to get to where we are. And it just sucks that, that had to happen.
I think it was the Denny Advia trade that he went to.
Oh,
Portland.
was it? Yeah.
I mean, Portland traded him for Denny Advia and some other stuff.
That's right.
But yeah, solid player. I feel bad for him. He was good when he was here.
Injuries.
Guy, I guess. Injuries,
That's a tough thing for him. That forearm. He was shooting the lights out, and he could not throw it into the ocean in that last when he was hurt there. But he also gave us a little nugget saying that Brown and Tatum, best duo in the league. And after all the shit they went through, They came up on top. So that's always good. He's part of the family.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think we can move to the Wolves game, because I think that out of the three is the most competitive game out of the three in terms of just going up against like a playoff contender and someone that we could see in the finals if we make it back there. But Anthony, I want to go to you on this. We saw the video that broadcast of them pretty much bashing Jaylen Brown and his shot selection and his spray charts. In terms of shots, what do you make of people around the league saying that like Jaylen Brown is still like not subpar, but he still like isn't consistent in terms of his shooting ability and being able to lead the Celtics?
Yeah, it felt weird listening back to it, that it was because none of them were bad shots. They were all on the flow of the offense. A few of them were wide open, and he's under 30% on the year. We touched on that last episode, but he's clearly a better shooter than what he's shown during the year. So just to like go in on him like that was like, oh, I'm going to give Jaylen Brown a wide open wing three all game. Like, okay, fine, but like I don't know why you're shocked when they go in. Go ahead, Steve.
The Warriors tried to do that to him before too last year, and he
They left him alone and he killed him.
Made them eat crow. I mean, yeah, the announcers were out of pocket for that. I mean, but also to be fair, from his return from the injury, before the Wolves game, he was shooting 33.5%, so probably not the best over his last 6, but 7 for 10 against the Wolves and ripped those little sweet Midwestern hots out.
I mean, he was 13 for 30 over the week. I mean, the last 3 games, 13 for 30 from 3. What's that? Over 40% from 3. So it's water's finding its level a little bit. I think that there's some teams, especially broadcasts like that in the West, that don't watch the Celtics play every day, that we've just broken the league's brains, where it's like, well, they're just going to throw up all these threes. How is this? How is this good basketball? How is this good offense? What are we watching? And it drives them nuts that it's like, this is the way we're kind of kicking the crap out of the whole league, just driving kicks, threes, putting up 50 a game. It's like they just got. Brad broke their brains. It's pretty much what happened.
Simple basketball had them talking about the second apron, crying, saying like, "How can this team be together any more longer?"
No, it's crazy, the disrespect that Jaylen Brown gets, and I feel like he gets it. He's been getting it ever since like the Olympics thing and all that, getting snubbed from that, and I feel like there's just a group of people around the league and different commentators or front offices, like they just hate Jaylen Brown, and it's just, I don't know if it's because he has his own thoughts, he has his own way of thinking, but it seems to be just like a group of people that always like to put him down. But I want to move to Derek White. I know, Anthony, you wanted to touch on his 19 points performance against the Wolves in that 107-105 win. So just give us your thoughts on Derek White and his performance.
I mean, what else can you say about Derek White in the fourth quarter, man? I mean, he's nails. He's the best role player in the league. I'm not even sure you can call him a role player at this point. I mean, he should probably be an all-star. What was he, 7 for 12 in that game, 19 points?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know what he had. I think he had 10 in the fourth. And it was just big shots. Like the fact that he has the ability now to come off a screen, a defender goes under, and he just gets that thing up, quick trigger, bang. Like he shoots it like Klay Thompson now. I mean, he's a different guy than he was. I mean, think back to 3 years ago in the finals against the Warriors. They were just leaving him alone, and he was just – I mean, he was really no threat to shoot. And then in 3 seasons, he's become not only a good shooter, but a great shooter, off the dribble, off screens, pull-ups. It doesn't matter. I mean, and never mind the type of defense you're getting out of him. I mean, there was one possession late where he stoned Ant, got the block. I think that led right of the court to a Celtics 3. There was obviously the block in the corner on Jaden McDaniels. That was just. I mean, teams around the. Yeah. Oh, was it Naz Reid?
No, it was Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Okay. I mean, and those plays that we're accustomed to seeing those plays, but people that don't watch the Celtics every day, you're like, this is your point guard. Like, what is going on? I mean, it's just you can't say enough about Derek White and the type of player he's turned into.
He played the whole fourth, 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. 4 for 5 from the field, 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. He was just unreal. like you said, there's not much you can do. To kind of go back to that block shot, though, in the corner three, he was in the middle of the paint, goes around two players with that screen, and then gets it on that. That's crazy. And him setting his feet and able to get his shot off so quickly. Like, there was a play that Kata set a screen for him, and someone went underneath, and he just, like, takes a little step, squares his shoulders, boom, in there. So quick. It's a revelation. And I think Bontemps had him as one of the core three on our team. It could change, you know.
Yeah, he had him number one as a big three in the league with Derek and the Jays. Which is right. I think he's the third most important player on the team. I mean, I think KP's the third most skilled player on the team, but I mean, it shows the playoff run last year. I mean, KP was hardly there, and you still go 16-3 to win a title, and it's like, you know, it's Derek White, it's the Jays, it's Drew, but it's you can't say enough. It's unbelievable what he's turned into.
So I do want to point out Ant's performance and kind of like the Timberwolves in terms of like them as a team. Do you guys believe with them getting rid of Karl Anthony Towns, bringing in Randall and Dante, do you think that team is accustomed to facing the Celtics maybe if both teams make it to the finals? Or do you think that team, from watching them just against the Celtics, do you think that team needs to pick up a piece? I know Marcus Smart's name has been thrown out there so many times of them trying to get rid of Mike Conley and get Smart. I don't know if you guys have seen those rumors or not. They're on X like every day. Somebody's tweeting about them. But what did you guys see from Ant in terms of sort of like his ability to challenge Tatum and kind of get to this notion that Ant is the face of the league and it's not Tatum? You know, do you guys still feel like it's Tatum or Ant in terms of like a younger player? Like, it not now, obviously, because like LeBron is still in the league, but like in like 3, 4, 5 years, because it's the Ant Tatum battle. Do you think it's Tatum or do you think it's Ant? People say it's Ant because of how he like carries himself
Aura.
and
whatever that means. I don't think it's particularly close. I think Tatum's. Ant's great. The increased volume from three this year is exactly what he needed to do. I mean, he's a killer. He's one of the best shots in the league. He should be shooting. I think he's shooting 11 a game this year, which I mean, he could even get more up for my liking. But he's not the playmaker Tatum is. He's not quite the defender Tatum is. Yep. And Tatum's 6'10". It's just different. Like he's guarding Rudy Gobert. He's switching on to, he can guard your center and guard 1 through 5. Ant's not doing that. Yeah. And I mean, it's not to say Ant's a bad player. He's a top 10 player in the league. He's not
Tatum.
He's not the all-around player that Tatum is yet. He could be, but not yet.
Yeah.
He could be. And it's also like he's very young. Like, Tatum wasn't the polished product that he is now.
What's his fifth year?
Yeah.
Year 5 for Ant. Like
he's also like how old actually is he though?
Like he's 24.
I think even younger than that.
Is he?
Yeah. And like it's pretty crazy.
23.
Yeah, 23. Like, obviously he's a ball hog. We all saw it. I mean, he did have 7 assists last night, but like it kind of sticks with him in other games. We kind of made him work for his stuff. He also didn't get the paint with us. So he's got a lot to learn. But it's Tatum's league. Cover 2K. He's on all the commercials. He's literally the brand ambassador right now. They're obviously LeBron and Steph, and the old god's gonna hold it until the end. But Tatum, Jordan Brand, his new sneaker, he's got the top jersey sales. Like he's the it man. He's
everywhere. Yeah, I know that. That conversation to me, I never understood why it was a thing, because people are only basing it on because Tatum doesn't like. He's not in your face. Like, he's not screaming all the time. He's not like, he doesn't have this persona of like challenging, like being emotional on the court. Like, obviously when he gets fouled, like you see him throw his arms up or he's doing whatever. But like you see on ESPN or Stephen A will be like, oh, I need Tim to show me more emotion. Like when Ant, he's like flexing and doing all this stuff. If he hits like a big shot, he's, doing all that sort of thing. So that's what people are basing it off of. I just want to know your opinion on if you thought it was relatively close or not.
For the casuals, it is. But if you're proficient at this, come here and listen to us talk about it instead
it's a lot of it to me. There's a lot of people that are just they're just box score watchers and they're efficiency hardos. It's like, oh, you tune in to see, oh, he went 11 for 16 and you took an L. It's like, okay, 11 for 16 is great, but there's still a whole nother side of the court. There's still playmaking there. Are you setting your teammates up? I'm not saying Ant's not good at those areas too, but Tatum's already elite at those areas.
Yeah.
And I think Ant will be elite as a defender. I think he'll end up handling the ball more. And in 3 or 4 years, Ant's probably going to, be the playmaker Tatum is. But he's not quite there yet. It's hard to oversay. We have this argument about Luka and Tatum all the time. And it's like Tatum is the reason our defense is so versatile. He can guard all 5 positions. He's 6'10". It's not everybody can do that. Shea can't do that. Luka can't do that. Ant can't do that. And too many people just ignore that. Oh, but he went 8 for 23, and it's like, okay, but he was also, guarding Daniel Gafford the entire series in the finals and blowing up every pick and roll and completely taking you out of your offense, and was the reason the Mavs couldn't score in the finals. Ant's not doing that. It's just, to me, that's the biggest thing.
Preach.
Yeah. So I guess one last thing. Do you think the Wolves are a real contender to the Celtics? You think they're a real threat?
Yo, we gave them that diamond test, and those bars did not hit the top. They got a long way to go. I mean, the West is pretty hot in general, but and it's still the first time, they're getting acclimated with Edward, with Randall and DiVincenzo. And DiVincenzo's not hitting his shots like he normally does, even though he shot 50% against us. I still think they have a tough hill to climb to get even in our realm, to be honest. I still think they're like a couple tiers below.
Yeah, I don't know that they're coming out of the West this year. What I will say is I think the Wolves are a tough matchup. We're always going to play close games with the Wolves. They're long, they're athletic, they can switch everything. They're one of the few teams that can keep up with our perimeter length, which is just there's not a ton of guys to pick on, especially when Mike Conley's not playing. They are big and strong and physical. So like, as far as if they ever made it to the finals, I think it would be, I think they give us good games, but I don't think they're as all around as good as us. They'll struggle with Dallas. They'll struggle with some of these other teams, but
there's one more thing I want to say. That final shot that Nasri did not get off, me and Tony in there in attendance, we're all standing, we're waiting for it. It goes up. The Timberwolves bench is running onto the court. They thought they won. They were so ecstatic. That thing clinks off. Get out of here, you bums. Get out.
That's awesome. Funny. The atmosphere for that game probably was pretty sick down the stretch in the fourth quarter, being a close game, no?
Oh, yeah.
It was good early and it was good late.
Yeah, there was
a little lull in the middle, but the Jaylen. I mean, did we even? Oh, I mean, I guess we more talked about the Timberwolves announcers, but the Jaylen explosion in the first quarter, the place was rocking. It was awesome. It was aside from a playoff game, it was one of the coolest things that I've witnessed in there.
Yeah, there's a couple of Wolves fans in front of us too, and they were doing their silent yes whenever a good shot was going in, and then we just started raining on them, and it was just glorious to see.
I do want to touch on, if we have a second.
Yeah.
From the Wolves game, and I mean he bounced back in the Wizards game too, but we got to talk about Tillman a little bit. He didn't get any burn last night against the Clippers, but Tillman bounced back for us this weekend against the Wolves especially. You can't play drop against Ant. He's going to kill you. Yeah. He's going to kill you in drop. He's going to go 7 for 12 from 3 and dominate you. You have to be able to switch, and Tillman allows us to do that. And he's not great at anything, but the best thing I can say about Tillman is you didn't really notice him at all. And as your fourth big, if you're not noticed and you're not doing anything where you're like, what the hell is this guy doing? That's good.
Yeah.
You'll take that from your fourth big any day of the week.
He's a higher IQ than Keita, and it's just positionally he knows where to go. His feet are moving. And good on Joe for dusting him off the bench. Give him come on, let's go. And putting Keita back on the bench and just, riding with it, because like you said, he's great at switching. He knows where everyone else is going to be and where to funnel certain players in based off tendencies and stuff like that.
And good on Tillman and these guys to stay ready group. Like, you don't play for a month and then you're able to come back and play against the Wizards. I think the last game he played before the Wizards was the first Hawks game, which was like the beginning of November. And it's like,
Damn.
Tillman's a guy who's been in the league. Like, that can't be easy to sit there and like, hey, I want to play. I didn't resign, and to stay ready, come back, make an impact in 2 games. That he helped you get 2 wins early in the season. That could mean something late in the year. So give him credit.
Did he have a option on his contract to come back? Did he pick up his player option? Did they sign him to a completely new 1-year deal to come back?
I think they just signed him to a 1-year deal. I think he was a free agent, which was weird. That's why a lot of people were like, "Damn, Tillman's taking the minimum to come back." He didn't have a ton of offers, I guess. But I mean,
I don't believe so. He probably wanted to stay because just the chance of a repeat with this team. I mean, why would you not? Instead of going to play, I don't know. He'd probably, if he went to like back to Memphis or Portland, New Orleans, with Zion being out all the time, maybe he gets 15 to 18, 20 minutes, but like he probably just likes being here in the atmosphere and the chance to win again. But I want to move to the Clippers game because this game, I think for us in general, is probably the most exciting in terms of getting Kristaps back out of nowhere. I didn't expect
the unicorn is back.
Had no idea he was going to come back. But I'm just going to ask it right off the top. I mean, did KP exceed your expectations in his debut?
Yes.
Take the floor, Tony.
I mean, I thought he was good. He looked like KP. He looked good. The shot was a little off, but none of those threes he took were way off. They were all over the back rim. I mean, they're right there. There was the biggest thing was the paint defense. He was awesome in the paint, and you forget this guy's just so big. He's so athletic. There was one play early. I don't know if it was second quarter, but late in the shot clock, Chris Dunn had to go baseline, and he just jumped up with 2 hands and swallowed him up. And it's like Al's unbelievable. Kata can block some shots. Luke will contest, but they're not 7'3" with a 7'8" wingspan. It's just you can't shoot over that. He got Harden on a floater later in the game. You made it tough on Zubac. It's just we're a whole different team on the inside, especially defensively with him on the court. And that was the biggest thing for me.
I mentioned at the beginning of this pod that we were mathing our way to wins, just squeaking them out. With AP back, that is a cheat code. Porzingis really just opens up everything. I mean, we won 126-94. In the biz, we call that a classic belt to ass win.
Belt to ass.
Little fun fact, Celtics tied an NBA record with 12 threes in that second quarter. The offense just hums so perfectly with him. It's like German engineering. It's just so precise.
51 points in the second quarter. That was the most points the Celtics have scored in a quarter since 1970, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Fast fact.
Damn.
It's pretty wild. And I don't know if did you guys catch any of Brad was on the during the second quarter. Mm-hmm. And he was he was funny because I don't know if you noticed, he kept being like another layup, another paint pass, like just like all of us. Like he was like, another, he's clearly concerned, and he said it. They asked him, "What are you concerned about?" He said, "Well, paint defense. We got to see," and it was clear, just him mentioning it every time that's what he was looking for. But the other thing that he mentioned that caught my ear was they asked him about getting threes up, and is that something that they talk about? And he said he never looks at that at all. It's just shot profile. Like if is it an open look? Is it off 2 passes? Is it a pull-up 3? Like, and that's what people that don't watch the Celtics stuff and think they're just chucking up threes don't realize. Most of these shots are off a couple actions. They're a catch and shoot, and they're mostly wide open. In the modern NBA, if you're passing that shot up, that's bad, actually. Like, and it's not about how many you get up. It's just getting up open looks. If they're from 3, great. If they're layups, great.
Yeah, I mean, they were 22 of 51, which is 43.1% from 3, and the threes totaled 58% of their shots.
I love it. I want that every game.
Great process, though. Drive, kick, shoot, open look. It was just, like I said, the offense was humming now that KP was back.
I don't know if anyone saw there was the shot chart from last night.
I didn't.
It's a thing of beauty. I'll retweet it on. I know, like Bobby Kravitsky and some of those Celtics guys tweeted it. It was just, it's just all threes and paint shots. I mean, for modern NBA, it doesn't get more perfect than that. Nothing from the mid range at all.
Wow.
And I mean, that's.
Yeah, the furthest mid-range one was from like the free throw line elbow. Everything else.
At the rim or from
Crazy.
three. But that's what it should be. That's what the
That's
modern
crazy.
NBA is.
Let's not forget though too. The Clippers were riding a 5-game win streak, and with the top 5 defense, and we made them look just foolish out there. But kind of back to KP. I mean, let's get to his counting stats: 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks on 50% shooting, 17% on the threes, like Tony mentioned. That they were all good looks, so it's gonna prop back up. I got 6 words for you guys. Cookies and cream is back, baby.
It is back.
That alley-oop from Jaylen to KP just gave me flashbacks. It was getting me hot and bothered. I was so excited for it. I was like, I can't believe this was back. It means something to me seeing that.
Yeah.
Well, you do forget that, like he's like an NBA 2K boost for Jaylen when him on the court. He's like Jaylen gets a plus 4 awareness and playmaking when KP's on the court. I don't know what it is, but he is like, it turns into an elite passer when he's around KP. It's unbelievable.
He's been doing well with his assists too. And you ratchet that up with 1, 2 more for KP. Also, Jaylen Brown mentioned that the back door, he hasn't got that too many. Those
they
plays,
hit that at
bang,
one point.
first play between them. They were just like old times again.
I mean, you can't defend the Celtics when KP is right. They put you in.
No.
They put you in a bad position. You could play perfect defense for 23 seconds. You're still gonna give up a shot you probably don't want to give up, no matter what. It's a cheat code. It's tough.
Cheat code was cheat coding.
Yes,
but
I will say I do feel bad for the Clippers in general. I mean, when is Kawhi done? Like, is he playing? Like, that dude,
He's gonna retire. He has to.
His knees are just so shot. Like, he just can't stay. He's like, Zion's now entering that conversation too, because that guy is never healthy. The amount of soft tissue injuries he has as well, which just seems like with Kawhi, I feel bad for Steve Ballmer, because when you look at him as an owner, like, he's doing everything possible to give Clippers fans a good team to watch and a team that's going to make a run, and just feel like that investment they made in Kawhi just is not returning on his investment. And that sucks to see, but at the same time, not our issue.
Not our issue. Thank God.
But we have predictions. Steve, you put this down below to predict the next 3 games. We're facing the Bulls, Cavs, and Heat. So, Anthony, you're up first. You got to say if we're going to win against the Bulls, Cavs, or Heat, or lose. What's the record for those 3?
So I like a win versus the Bulls. It's the cup. It means something. It means something to us. But the Cavs game, the Cavs are going to be interesting. They're going to be up for that game. Yeah. But I think we'll probably have KP and Al both, because it's the first night of a back-to-back. Yeah. Maybe, unless they stagger those guys. It is. I mean, it's Bulls Friday, Cavs Sunday, I think. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'm going to say 2-1 in that stretch. I think I do respect the Cavs, and I think that's going to be a big game for them. They're going to want to win that game. So I'm going to say 2-1.
I think we respect the cup. I don't know if the Celtics respect the cup.
Jason Tatum doesn't. We know that.
Jason Tatum does definitely.
Luke Cornett respects the cup.
Jason Tatum doesn't want Luke Cornett to pay off his mortgage. Yeah. He wants to dangle that little carrot over him the entire rest of the season. So you can't pay off your mortgage, buddy. I think we're going to go 2-1, loss to the Bulls, get us out of the cup contention, separate ourselves to let everyone know we are a tier above the Cavs for win there. And the Heat are now, we just sunned them ever since, the
we own the Heat. Is it
we
in
own
Miami?
them now. I'm not sure if it's in Miami.
On the road. I think it's on the road.
That's what I'm looking for. If it's in Miami, I might switch my answer. No,
we always win in Miami.
Home. Yeah, Miami's where we like.
If it's in Miami, it's a guaranteed win.
It's
home. I don't know.
It's home.
I think it's like a Friday night game though. So
it's Monday night. It's Monday.
It's a Monday.
Monday night.
Sunday,
Monday.
Cavs. Monday. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna. I think we may win them, but the Bulls won. I think that's a loss.
All right. So I'm puzzled, man. That the Heat, Cavs, the back-to-backs are tough, but now that we have KP,
yeah, you're going to be able to stagger him and Al. So it's.
What do we think? KP plays against Cleveland. Al doesn't play against the Heat. Is that how it goes?
I'd like KP versus Cleveland and Al versus the Heat. I don't want KP anywhere near the Heat. I don't need Bam flailing into his legs. I don't need Jimmy pulling some stuff. I don't know. I don't want him anywhere near the Heat.
I don't know if you guys remember this game from last year. You guys remember when Dean Wade of the Cavs went off? I don't know for how many. Wasn't it 20 points in the fourth? Was it something insane like that?
Yeah, I think he had like 22 in the fourth. I think he had 7 threes. So
ever since that game, Cleveland scares me for the Celtics in terms of them going there. So I think I'm gonna have to go 2-1 and we lose in Cleveland. I don't know, dude. That game just leaves me flashbacks. So I'm gonna go 2-1. So I'm gonna write this down in our Google Doc so we can keep track of our record. Steven, what was your record? What do you have it going?
2-1. I'm gonna
2-1. So everybody's 2-1.
But Steve's got him losing to the Bulls. He's got him disrespecting the cup on Friday night.
I don't.
Could be a Thanksgiving hangover game, you know?
It could be.
We'll see how much turkey the guys eat on Thursday. What's going on?
I forgot about that. I forgot about that. And then, so Bulls. Then you have them losing to who, Anthony? The Cavs?
I got them losing the Cavs.
Cavs. All right, so we're in the same boat on that one. We're gonna see what happens. If they lose the Bulls, that means no cup. No cup. All right, so we have some other stuff that we can discuss. I mean, right now, I think the only thing I really want to talk about before we wrap this up is Peyton Pritchard in the Sixth Man of the Year campaign.
Thank you.
You guys think he still has that in the bag right now? You think he's still in the lead of his own right now?
I think he's the clear favorite. I mean, we talk about KP being a cheat code, and he is, but it gets silly when this season with Peyton Pritchard turning into the player that he is. I mean, you have the best top 6 in the league, and now you have a guy that comes in and is just a sniper. 45% from 3. He's going to get I think he's hit 6 threes. We talked about it last time in like half the games this year. It's absurd. I mean, last night was an all-around team game, but it was Peyton and Sam that extended that lead last night and made it a 30-point game. I think they were 9 for 13 from 3. Peyton was 6 for 9, I think. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can play good defense and then you throw it back out to Peyton Pritchard and he hits one from 32 feet. It's like, well, you know, what can you do?
Yeah.
There's nothing to defend that.
He was tied for game most points, 20 points right there with Tatum. 6 for 10 from 3. I mean, he comes in, he's a microwave scorer. You think, Jaylen Brown's going to go sit down or Tim's going to sit down? What's going to say? All of a sudden, you get Sam Hauser, flamethrower. Peyton Pritchard, unlimited range. I mean, it must be so demoralizing for other teams to see these two non-athletic looking white men come in and just torch them.
And I mean, teams get in the trap where they want to pick on these guys. And my favorite play from last night, Kevin Porter Jr. tries to back down Peyton Pritchard, gets stonewalled, and then he just chucks it out of bounds. Like, I mean, he's completely demoralized. Like,
the fan was the best reaction to that. She was just like, "Why are you passing to me? Like, well, what's wrong with you? You just got stoned by PP."
Awesome. I mean, he's a dog. He's gonna battle you.
His defense on Harden, his on-ball
was
defense,
unbelievable.
So feisty. He was all over him. Harden had no space to get it. Well, Harden has that step back always, but he had no space to get in the.
We've had short point guards play for the Celtics. He's a better defender than Isaiah Thomas. He's a better defender than Kemba. He's just a dog, and I think he had to be that way as like kind of a, Kemba and Isaiah were so good, kind of right away that it was like, we're just here to play offense. But Peyton had to earn it on both ends, and it shows now in year 5, year 6, whatever he's in. It's like, he's not. You can't just put him on the block. He's gonna get a hand in your face. He's not gonna back down from you.
Yeah, in practice, he's always going against Tatum, Brown. They do ones afterwards. I mean, he's getting in good reps. I know we're running a little short on time, but I just want to bring this to attention for us and listeners and everything. Points in the paint. Now that KP is back. There's going to be a big evening out there. The last 5 games, though, we'll start from the Clippers. 58 points in the paint to Celtics 46. Now, KP only played 22 minutes. He's still getting used to it, whatever. Wolves 44 to the Celtics 30. Wizards 52 to the Celtics 30. Cavs 60 to the Celtics 36. Raptors 76 to the Celtics 42. I want to see those numbers at least even out. And, hopefully that's one of the places in the margins where we could win. And then we could really start sitting our guys in the fourth quarter and letting, those other guys that don't have the opportunity all the time to get some playing time.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us on this episode. You guys can follow us at HA Courtside on X, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
See ya.